How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. It was able to close above $25. So it has been showing some strength, and many people are asking, do you see the stock going to 26, going to 27, especially for this week? So you know what? We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $25.26, being up 4.21%. On the low, it tested $24.75, and then on the high, testing $25.53. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 18 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 34.79 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 44.12. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 50-day, the 200-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So we are trading below all of our major moving averages, and as you can clearly see, and what we've pointed out in previous videos, Lucid is in a bear market. But one thing that is very clear, we did form a higher low. As far as for today, the low was at $24.75. And as far as the high, it was at $25.53. And I was saying, it could get very interesting if Lucid can continue to close above $25. So that is something that you're going to want to see going into tomorrow, and also seeing a possible test going to $26. Of course, the 21-day EMA is around $26.34. So if it's able to actually reclaim it, things could really start looking good for Lucid, and we can get a possible test going right here to $28, and then you'd want to see what it would do from there. But it would still put it in a bear market since it is trading below the 200-day. So that's one thing you're going to want to keep in mind. And if you are going to be trading it, don't be greedy when it comes to taking those profits. If we end up having some consolidation going into tomorrow, then of course you want to see $25 continue to hold. And if $25 does not hold up, then the next level of support you want to keep an eye on will be right here around $24.46. And if this area breaks, then don't be surprised, Lucid could get down to around $23.50. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow, but I will definitely continue to keep it on my watch list. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings we have here for March the 9th, we have Front Row Advisors LLC that purchased 200 shares. Now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 49.02%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 6.752 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 15,000, updated 29 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 23.56%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it was at 51.26, and then for the close of the 8th, being at 49.02. So one thing that remains the same, Lucid does have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see on the inflows at 115, and then on the outflows at 96.49. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it is 18.46, on the medium it is 57.87, and then on the small it is 38.97. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it is 4.99. On the medium, it is 54.89. And then on the small, it is 36.61. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the close of March 9th, it being a big inflow of 13.46 million. And when we analyze numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had a lot more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 1.10%. So again, this is a consistent range for Lucid, and this looks really good for anyone who's a long-term investor. Keep in mind, I want to make sure I make this very clear here. As far as Lucid, I'm an investor in the play, and I also like to trade the play. I'm seeing a lot of confusion saying, well, Dre, you said I should be buying at this price, or this is a good price to buy at. You guys already know, as far as an investor, I would like to get shares when the stock is trading below $20, and I'm going to be sticking to that. But from a trading standpoint, I'm trading off of the price action. I'm focused on the short term. So if you are a long-term investor and you're planning to hold Lucid for 2 to 3 years, there is no reason whatsoever that you should be carrying out frustrations inside of the comment section, or even being like, well, Dre, when is it going to go below $20? Hey, I'm down to be patient. If you're not patient enough, then by all means, make a financial decision that is right for you. I just wanted to clear that up. So let's get into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, the level you want to see it get to is around $26.34. If it is able to do this, this is where we can look forward to see that move going to $27. If it fails trying to get to that $26 level, of course it will pull back, and then you want to see support hold up at $24.75. As far as for the range that it's trading in, yes, it did close above $25, but we do have some CPI data that's going to be coming out on Thursday morning. So depending on what those results look like, this stock could pull back. But of course, as a trader, how you want to utilize this opportunity is seeing, hey, I already know where the resistance is at. So if I'm going to be playing off of that resistance and it gets rejected, I'm looking to go in with puts. If the data comes out strong and we see strength inside of the tech sector, then of course, when you take a look at that price action, you want to see $25 hold, and then you want to go in with calls to ride up to the upside. As far as how much profit that you're looking for, that's going to be different for every individual. Plus, I can't give you guys financial advice. For my long-term investors out there, I'm going to stick to my game plan. I will not be buying any shares whatsoever as long as this stock is trading above $20, and I'm going to be sticking with that. So find a decision that is right for you. Do your homework, do your due diligence. This is very key. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we can see institutions are continuing to load up on shares. Plus, on top of that, it does have short squeeze potential. So this is why if we end up having a catalyst and so forth, Lucid can make some moves to the upside, especially if you see a lot of strength in tech. We know as a whole, the market has been struggling. We are dealing with inflation. We have the war going on between the Ukraine and Russia. Plus, on top of that, there's a lot of uncertainty. Many people throwing that talk out there that, you know what, we might be headed into a recession. So keeping all of these factors in place, if you are going to be trading it, just make sure you're using the right risk management and don't go against the trend. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's see how Lucid performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.